Hey everybody, I am back playing with the tablet that I had introduced in a previous video. There was a couple of things, and you'll see up here, here's the quick prompt I gave it. I have the tablet we worked on last night hooked up. The Bluetooth doesn't work and it won't sync with Google account servers. Let's fix those. A very impressive and important aspect of using Codex, and Claude Code does this as well. So there's and there are other tools, but I just have been involved with those two for now. It reads out what it's thinking. So it says, oh, I don't have last night's detail after the clear because I cleared the context window. So what it's going to do is it's going to do its digging and it finds the tablet. It can inspect it directly. Wi-Fi and DNS look healthy from the tablet and its clock is correct. So the Google Sync is it walks through, it talks you through, what's it doing, how's it looking at the world, and what's it going to do next. So Bluetooth is not just toggled off. It's boarding a few seconds after startup. That sounds like a big issue to me. I can see, and maybe I can get it here without a whole bunch of glare. And no, I cannot. I can't get it to the camera. Sorry, it's plugged in on a short leash, but it says Bluetooth keeps stopping. Oftentimes when you're doing a fix like this and you're directly going through, whether it be your phone, whether it be a tablet, I will give you a real instruction on, no, I can't show you this thing either, darn it. It's a mini computer that I had purchased years ago and breathed new life into it. You can hook up directly to these things via various connections. In this case, USB cable, tap I believe it's the software revision, I think it's 8 times, and then you go into developer mode, you put on USB debugging. Robert, your father's brother, you're hooked up and it's reading. On the mini computer, I used Cat6 cable and hooked it up. Used a not a splitter, an adapter to go from USB to network cable. Hooked it up, it started working, took time, walked through it. Again, both of these little pieces of hardware would have been in the garbage, except now I have the ability to check, dig, and ask. I don't even have the ability to do any of the above. I just ask it and off it goes. So ultimately, this is exceedingly powerful. I'm going to pause it here while it goes. Oh, wait, I'm lying to you. While we talked, it found a package, matched the chip and tablet reports, firmware config patches in, Bluetooth is now on and stable, firmware config time drop. Okay, again, all I use this for is streaming audio. I will either have a book playing or I'll have some, I use, what is it, YouTube Music, but any of your streaming services, so I use that, off it goes. This thing is now back to life, and let's say maybe you end up throwing that in the garbage and you find one that you pay $100 for. So far, while doing other things, I have invested about a half an hour into this while, not even, what was this now, 6 minutes? Half an hour last night, maybe an hour. But the time it saves, the waste it saves is absolutely unbelievably powerful. Let's see what it says. So, backed up the original Bluetooth. For the Google Sync, the tablet has 0 accounts configured right now. Network, DNS, WebView, and push heartbeats, all look okay, so the next blocker is signing into Google. I open the account login flow on the tablet, so it it literally did open the account and gives me alright, so I will do this. I will just type in my see if this it might have been just something so simple as an oversight, and this is gonna look at me like I really should have known better, but it doesn't. It just helps you. Log in. Couldn't find CalDAV or CardDAV services. So I will go here and I will say there is an error. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show off another tool here. There is an error on the screen. Can you take a look at that, please? I thought I was going to show off another tool. Why are you not working? I talked about it. I bragged you up. It says it's live. Alright. Try it one more time. There's an error on the screen. Can you please take a look at that? Live videos. And I don't know how to edit. So, we will go. And I'll sort that out in a minute. We will also sort that out live. And again, by we, I mean Codex will sort it out and I'll just ask it for it. Hit login again, see what it says. CalDAV, gmail.com. The path will behave like normal Google account login. I'm reading. See, and this says, I can see why it's failing. And it switched it over. Okay. Gives me a whole different login screen on the Micro G. Micro G is, by the way, the version that has been absorbed by this. Or, that's a terrible way to put it. Has been installed on this. And I'm not quite sure why. Again, the auto on this camera. This camera is so powerful, but holy crap, it drives me nuts sometimes. Uh-oh. Now it says it's offline. But don't worry, it'll fix that. Let me try to zoom in on this a little bit better for you. While this is running, I think it's a good opportunity to talk a little more about the reason I like Codex over Claude Code. And I'll do a separate discussion just strictly on that, but I will talk about it right now. When you go into using ChatGPT versus Claude on your regular web interface, and you will find that Claude Code does a lot more than you ask of it. Now, at first you think, oh, that's terrific. I ask it to do X and it does X plus Y. Problem is, when you're programming, as it bolts things on, you get potentially a little bit of functionality you didn't count on. It uses up more context window, and at the same time, you won't necessarily have the tight control over what the end product is, and sometimes flimsy little add-ons can break and cause problems. So it does work, you just have to be more strict about your prompting. I got a window here. I'm gonna sign in again now on a different window and see what it says at gmail.com. And okay, next. Says it's signing in, says it sees me, knows who I am. Because of course, Google knows who you are. For better or for worse. And then it will prompt to two-factor authentication. Here we go. Confirm. Yes, it's me. Hi, Adam. I agree to the terms of service. Okay. There is an error. It doesn't want to connect with the Google servers. That was the problem I had last night. Probably not a big deal, but I'm gonna stand up for this because oh my goodness, you can sit down for a lot of your life while you're doing this nonsense. Okay, I'll read the current screen text. So again, the power of these things is that it has access to kind of everything that you give it access to. I can talk a little bit about the governance on that as well. You really do need to know the permissions that you've given it. Do not install something like this onto your computer and say, okay, you've got full permission, danger mode. Don't do that. It will cause you problems down the road. I can guarantee it. It may not be today, may not be tomorrow, but it will absolutely cause you problems somewhere along the way. What I've been doing is just bit by bit, I've been allowing it a touch more autonomy, a touch more freedom. You start out and like you can see I've got full access here. Now, full access here is after months of running this and having it pop up and say, oh, do I have permission for this? Do I have permission for that? Once you start to see the patterns, you can say, all right, you can have access to this. You can have access to that folder. You can have access to this control, that control. Those are all the things that you can really work on. So this is now gone through and it sees a missing droid guard. Well, of course you're missing your droid guard. I was going to mention that, but I didn't want it, I didn't want to make it feel dumb. So the normal update was rejected because the ROM is bundled. This has taken a little bit longer, and by a little bit longer, I mean we're an extra minute into this. So I'm going to pause it there, and I'll come back in when we get the next status update. Okay, I'm back for a quick update. It's only been a minute or two, but I'm wildly impatient. It says it's taking longer than usual to come back over ADB. I'm going to check whether it's merely a slow charging through the boot or if ADB needs a refresh. That's a very interesting thing that it does, where back in the day when I used to play with tablets and phones like this, if you got stuck in a loop, oh, you had no idea. So then you just took the chance and reset it and started all over again. This actually shows I can go in, see if it's stuck, and nudge it out or decide whether it has to. So right now it's asking, okay, the tablet is finished the boot, USB debugging got toggled off, and there is allow. It's asking me a bunch of stuff that's not happening. So I'm gonna just tell it, no, it is in the boot screen and not actually doing anything. So chances are it's going to say, hey, can you do me a favor and reboot it? This is where there's value to being here and helping. So this is where I get it uses we because I push buttons once in a while. Anyway, I'll be back in a bit. We'll show you how it turns out. So it's keeping going. It has a new screen up. It essentially is going back to almost a full reload, but fix the item while it's reloading. I realized what happened when I tried to show you my voice capture. I have not configured this yet so that the microphone can be shared by the camera and the app that allows for interaction and voice interaction. So I will get that fixed later. In the meantime, we'll just keep watching this thing go. So it's been another 6 or 7 minutes and it got through, circled back, got back into the Bluetooth problem. So as you can see, it says Android's booted again, but Bluetooth is off, so I'm gonna fix it. The beauty of this is when I talk about how powerful these tools are, I'm gonna go to the gym and then come back and see how it goes. So to be continued. Okay, great, thanks. Okay, terrific, thank you. Okay, I was just about to leave, found that this was done. It fixed the Bluetooth, still has Wi-Fi, signing into my account manager on Google, everything is fixed. So now we select all, we're quite happy, we continue, and again, just like that, the powerful ability that this has is tremendous. I had stopped and fixed a functionality on Handy, which is another app tied entirely to it, but separate. This fixed this tablet. This tablet now has a couple of years of new life, saves money, keeps things out of the landfill. The point being, in this 23 minutes, 24 minutes that I've been here, I'm going to go through a lot more of these little projects and I'm going to try to slice these down. We'll see how it goes. You have an absolutely incredibly powerful assistant and set of tools. This is the time to take advantage of them, learn them, and make the best of them. So, thanks very much, everybody. I will be talking to you soon.